It's too late.
Um, yo, what's good, Arit? What's going on? What's going on? Let's get this shit going. All right, let's go through this. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I you went. That's what you meant. You went to Okay, I see what you're saying. You went to the Twitch page. You thought it was the VOD. Want to know how do we play A-Site Nuke when they start an exec with flashes and stuff? Yo, I'm not gonna lie, dude. I don't play A-Site, so I don't know. But if you saw that Nart video today, I guess this is like a pretty good defensive smoke. You could like just hide in the smoke. You could peek out. You could just wait till they come out and then peek this way. Thanks, Nico. Or you could just throw it and then just fall back and they think that someone's in that smoke and they're worried about someone in there. I don't know anything else about A-Site though. I'm not gonna lie. I don't play this shit. Yeah, I will say though, uh, these tips and tricks might start uh teetering off. I don't know if that's the word, because I'm no longer really watching demos to learn new things. I've been trying to, I've been trying just to improve like my mistakes instead of learning more and more and more. Which actually I could probably just talk about right now because that's one of the things I wanted to mention. Let me even know right here. What's the number one reason we lost? Yeah, that's honestly why I ended the stream because I didn't want to talk about team stuff. With the stream on, I think it just makes it pretty awkward. Plus, I think everyone was pretty tilted, so I was like, all right, I'm not gonna just stream this. But I think the thing that lost us was just lack of protocol, man. It was seriously just lack of protocol. We figured out a lot of things that we're just doing wrong in general, and we fixed it. So we got some new protocol set. Which that's why this is literally what I want to talk about was it involves this where I think the problem that we had with the team. No, I mean that definitely would have helped too. But I think a problem we've had with the team and plus with me just personal and my individual skill was learning too much and like learning new things and not correcting current mistakes. So just like learn and not fix. And I can get into specific detail in that in a second, but like we're 4v5 to start. Yeah, and that came from this disconnect here from our default outside. It was that's what we're talking about was a protocol. Where the plan was to throw delayed slash. So the first thing that we're doing wrong was having Eli throw all the smokes. We did this for a while, but I don't think it's that good anymore. I think we all agreed that he should just throw two, and we could have the third guy throw like this smoke. I think this is the smoke right here for the third one. I don't know where it's at. It's somewhere right here. But what's it called? This was the first thing I think we're doing wrong was having Eli throw all the smokes. Secondly was the disconnect here. If a glaive smoke is down, like what we should do if we're throwing delayed slash and they throw a glaive smoke. In my head, there was the disconnect that we should just sit here and then throw smokes and then clear out red. But Rob and Paula, they would push up because they're thinking, oh, the glaive smoke's down. This is some free space we can take, which is that's literally the best call to make. It's just I was the one disconnected from them. So we just agreed upon that the protocol. This cost us like 2 or 3 of our gun rounds, and we were forced to eco next round. So we agreed that protocol was if we're ever doing delayed slash, first spawn jump spot. If he sees glaive smoke, then he's just gonna come here instantly to Tetris and hold like left side glaive, like the push. That glaive smoke was pretty shit, but he's just gonna hold the garage push left side glaive, and then that's because he's like safe from any like red swings and stuff. And then second spawn will just come here, insta molly red, and that's just to get anyone out of here playing the one way behind a glaive smoke, because that cost us 2 of these rounds where someone's playing a one way there. And then third spawn will just hold the red push, or second spawn will molly that, and then he can just come up and come out, or the first spawn can just come out here after like the red molly's down, and he can just push up to red because this glaive smoke is down. Someone's holding left side, someone's holding right side, and then someone mollies to get rid of the one way. So that's just how we like agreed to approach these glaive smokes now, is this way instead of being disconnected with me sitting back here and then only like one person pushing. Jump spot is risky, like this. I don't think it's that bad. You're just jump spotting the glaive smoke. You're not really jump spotting deep. Besides, if the smoke's down, like they can't see you, and if the smoke's not down, you're just jump spotting right here. I really can't post for you right there. Suck on nuke. Let's dude, fuck Mirage. That's default. Maybe stay back and let the Auber go for some picks, and if nothing happens, try less defaults and just. No, I disagree. There was nothing wrong with default. There's literally nothing wrong with going outside on nuke. That's just like always an okay move to do, is just to throw slash smokes and go with it. The problem was our protocols was bad on the call. The call wasn't bad. Just why you graduate jumps. Yeah, you're just seeing if smoke right here. Or yeah, I guess to see if someone goes secret. I didn't even know that was a thing. Shit, I didn't even know that. I'm not gonna lie. Alright, here, look at it. No, I seriously did not know that. Where's this thing at? Is the wrong? Alright, chill, man. You're clowning me right now. No, I didn't know that shit. I used to insta-ban this map on Faceit for like 4 out of the 5 years I played this game. Alright, look at this is the script I wanted to talk about. This is the script, because I was talking about that. This was the problem this game, was that we had a lot of mistakes, and I like low-key, I was like fucking up the team. It was like on me, because I kept on bringing more and more new things, and that was just fucking everyone up. So it's the shit I want to talk about. I gotta open up Paint for this. I gotta open up Paint for this so I can explain this. Alright, watch this. Alright. So the book, The Art of Learning, or not Art of Learning, The Mental Game of Poker, alright? Enfo put me on this book. I'm taking my time with it because like I'm only like an hour into it, and everything that this guy talks about is like gold, dude. Everything he's talked about so far, I'm like, holy shit! Like I need that. So I've been really just taking my time, like reading like 20 to 30 minutes every like 3 or 4 days, because I want this information to sink in. And the 4 stages of learning, which goes in hand with Inchworm, and how you progress in any skill for any sport, anything. This is how you progress at anything. So I gotta talk about this first. What he talks about is like the 4 stages of learning skill. So at the first stage, you have unconscious incompetence, and I'll explain all these in detail in a second. So you got unconscious incompetence, and you have conscious incompetence, and then you have and then you have conscious competence, and then you have unconscious competence. And so the idea is that when you start off learning something, you're at the first stage. This is where you're unconsciously incompetent. You don't know that you're bad at something. Like you don't know that you're a bad aimer. You don't know that you're a bad IGL. You don't know what you're bad at. You're just bad at it, right? And then you go to the next stage and you realize, oh shoot, I didn't know that I'm supposed to be calling strats as an IGL, or I didn't know I'm supposed to do this when I'm aiming. You realize what you're bad at. You become conscious of what you're incompetent at. That's the second stage. The third stage is when you end up improving on that skill. So let's say it was the aiming thing. You are only good at that skill when you're thinking about it and you're focused on it. So let's say IGLing, you just learned that you're supposed to call strats as an IGL. So you didn't know that before, then you learn that you're supposed to do that, and then you start doing that, and now when you think about it, then you call strats. So you're consciously competent. You're competent at the skill only when you're thinking about it. The last stage is when you don't even have to think about it anymore, and you're still competent. And so it's just like, oh, when you get in the game, you don't even think about calling strats; it just comes out. You're unconsciously competent. So these are the 4 stages of learning, and basically, what like this is gold here. Like this is what you want for any skill that you have, is to get it all to reach an unconscious competent level, because you don't have to think about it. It doesn't take any brain power, and these go unaffected by tilt. Like things that you have unconsciously competent down, if you're high emotional or tilted, you're stressed out, these things will still work. Like you can still chew gum if you're angry, because you're so unconsciously competent at chewing gum that you don't have to think about it. And a lot of these players, they can still hit crazy shots when they're tilted, because their aim is so ingrained in their system that they don't have to think about it at all. So even when they're tilted, they can hit crazy shots. All right. So next thing I have to talk about, the next concept, is the bell curve. And basically this idea is that everyone knows what a bell curve is. This is like, if you're to like take the average of something, you have like very little of like something really bad. Your average is going to have most of like the majority of the population of something. And then at the top, you're going to also have like very little population of something good, whatever it was at like the peak of the chart. So when it comes to skills, let's just say this is like skill level in CSGO right here, skill level, right? This is your skill level. We'll just say like this is like FACEIT ELO. Like you got like 100 ELO here. You got like 2000 ELO here. And basically what the guy was saying is that everyone, if you were to take a game that you played, or like this is about poker, if you take all your games, all your decisions, that every one of your games can be placed out of the past 100 games that you played, like every one of them is going to be placed in this bell curve. You're going to have a lot of really bad games. You're going to have a lot of average games that you played like okay, and you're going to have a lot of like really good games. And basically the idea is that when it comes to like how you perform in a game, you have your A game. Oh shit, this is backwards. You have your A game, your B game, and your C game. And it's like a saying, people are like, oh, I was on my A game that day. That means that you're on point. Like you had everything down. You were playing the best you've ever played. You're going off. And then you have your B game. That's just like when you just play averagely. Like you can always play like this. And your C game, which is like the match you guys just saw us play on Nuke when we got 16-3. This is like when you play really bad. And what's it called? So the idea of Inchworm is that when it comes to improving at a skill, you want to improve your A game so that the bell curve ends up moving slightly forward. So then now that this is like the new bell curve, let me get a new one. Oh shit. All right. 100, 2000. So yeah, the idea is that like when you learn something new, you improve your A game, right? So now the bell curve, shit, I have to redo this. 100, 2000. So let's say this is the bell curve. This is your bell curve. If you learn something new, then you improve your A game, so the bell curve X ends up shifting forward. Or the front end of the bell curve ends up shifting forward. So now your bell curve looks like this. It's a little bit wider. So on average, you're probably going to play a little bit slightly better. There's a chance you could play better, and there's a chance you could play a lot better. And basically, when you improve your C game, this is improving something that you're making mistakes on. So then this would end up shifting forward. So now your bell curve ends up looking like this. Like this, where now it comes further this way. See what I'm saying? So now when you play your very worst, you're not playing at 100 ELO anymore. Now you shift it up. Now the very worst that you ever play is going to be 150 ELO. Your very best that you'll ever play is like 2050. You see what I'm saying? So what the guy was saying in the book is that when it comes to Inchworm, how to improve at something the fastest you don't want to only learn new things because then you only improve the front end of your bell curve, and it ends up making a bell curve that looks very, very wide. And this leads to inconsistency. Because if you only improve the front end and you keep on learning new things, then the front end keeps on improving. And you know, you can get like games where you play really good, but this is only when you're on point and you're consciously like competent of all the things that you're learning. And then if you end up only improving your C game, you know, if you only improve your C game and this thing shifts forward, the front end of the bell curve never moves, but the back end of it moves. So if you only improve your C game, you end up getting like really consistent, but you never improve your peak performance. You see what I'm saying? You never really have bad games. You never really have like great games because you become super consistent. So the idea that, like, of the bell curve is that I feel like I'm not making sense. So the idea of this is that, like, if you only improve new things, you become very, if you only spend your time practicing to learn new things, you become very inconsistent because you can only use those new things when you're consciously competent of it and you're at, like, you know, mental peak performance. Like, you're only going to be able to use that new banana smoke that you saw when you think about it. It's not ingrained yet. And basically the idea is that your C game, when you play your worst, is everything that you have already ingrained because, you know, you're tilted, you're angry, whatever it is, you're stressed out. So when you play your C game, you're usually just playing at your bare, like, everything you have ingrained in you because you don't have that mental capacity to use all the stuff that you're still learning. If that makes sense. I guess I have to talk about something else first. So another thing he talks about in the book is emotions, and he was saying that, like, if there's like three types of thinking, right? You got your unconscious thinking. This is just like your, you know, your reaction. Like, you know, like I was saying, it's like kind of unconscious competence, but your unconscious thinking is like things you don't have to think about. You know, your heartbeat, your breathing, you know, walking, chewing gum. This is stuff that you have ingrained down so well that there's no thinking about it, right? Second way of thinking is emotion. And emotional, like, it's not really thinking, but like the way your brain works is emotions. And basically, if your emotions pass a certain threshold and you have like too much emotional energy, whether that's fear, motivation, tilts, or even confidence, if they've passed a certain threshold, then it will actually, hold on, before I get into this, you have your emotional thinking, right? You have your unconscious thinking, then you have your emotional thinking. That's just like your emotions. And then thirdly, you have your higher thinking or your cognitive functioning. This is like, to my cockhead, someone give to me that. Your cognitive thinking is like, you know, when you think about stuff, your logical mind. And basically the idea is that if your emotions reach too high, they pass a certain threshold, they get too, you know, excited, whether that's fear, tilt, you know, you get too tilted, or you get too confident, or you get too motivated. Like any singular emotion, if it goes to too high of a level and passes a certain threshold, it will impair your cognitive thinking. And this is why you start playing dumb when you're tilted, because your emotions are so high you can't think straight. It's literally a thing. You can't think straight if your emotions get too high. And so the idea is that when you're playing your best, you all right, so if your emotions are in check, then you have access to your cognitive thinking and things that you're still in the process of learning, and you could still use those things. So when you're playing your best, it's usually because you're in a mentally stable environment. You know, you're not stressed that day, you're not tilted that day. You had a good day going, and you had a lot of things, you know, in your conscious memory that you're things that you're consciously competent about, that you're still working on, but they're not ingrained yet. So when you play your best, you know, you have like all this stuff that's just like saved in your head that you can access because you're not too emotional. Usually when you play your worst, it's because of like some emotional threshold that's been passed. So you don't you lose access to all the things that you were in the process of learning of because your cognitive abilities become impaired. So usually when you play your worst, it's because of like some, you know, either too little emotion or too high of an emotion. And so the idea is that when it comes to improving, you need to recognize like what your bell curve looks like. And I realized that for me and the team is I was making the mistake of just constantly adding new things. So our peak performance, our A game, could be like really good. Sometimes we beat advanced teams, you know? Like we'd have a really wide bell curve. This bell curve was super wide because there's a lot of things that we're consciously competent about that we don't have ingrained down into our brains yet, you know? So on a good day, you can catch us all the way up here playing like advanced teams, there's no problem. And then on a bad day, we just lose to like some pug teams playing like shit because so what the fuck going on? Because we didn't get stuff ingrained in our head yet. So the idea is that the inchworm idea is that when it comes to improving, you want to learn something new so that the front end of the bell curve moves forward, and then you want to correct a mistake so then the back end of the bell curve moves forward. You know, you want to get something ingrained in down to an unconscious level so that you don't have to think about it anymore and it just happens. So then now your worst level of play will never drop below, let's say 800 elo or something. What do you mean you're lost? You literally read this book. Are you on Adderall? Also, how do I perfect? Buying M4. What? No, I'm not on Adderall. I probably should be. Does that make sense? Oh, you ain't even listening? Okay. But look at. So basically the idea is that when you play your worst, it's because you lose, usually it's because you lose access to things that you were in the process of learning. So you end up playing your very worst. So the way to improve your worst level of play, your C game, is to correct things that you have down to an unconscious level and get it really ingrained so that you no longer need to be emotionally stable to access it, if that makes sense. So the way to get like a really good bell curve, like I said, learn something new so the front end of the bell curve moves forward, and then correct a mistake so this moves forward. So then your bell curve goes from, you know, looking like this to now going up here. So now your worst level of play is at 200 elo and your best level of play is at 600. And then, you know, you learn a new thing. You learn a new thing. So now your worst level of play is at 200, but now the bell curve goes further out. So now you could play at a 700 on a good day. You know what I'm saying? And then you correct something, you correct a mistake and you get it ingrained. So now the back end of the bell curve goes up even further. Now you will never play below a 300 elo player. And now you'll always play it. And then sometimes you can play as a 700 elo player. And so what I want to talk about was people always complain about inconsistencies and plateaus and their opposite problems. When people plateau, it's because they never learn new things. Their front end of the bell curve, let's say it's at like 1500 elo. They just keep on doing the same thing over. Yo, thanks for the follow. They keep on doing the same thing over and over and over. They never learn anything new. So they correct all these mistakes in their current gameplay, and their back end of the bell curve like comes forward, but the front end of it never moves. So their bell curve ends up looking like this, where like all their games are always at like 1200 elo. They become super consistent, but they never improve at an overall level. This is when people talk about plateau, right? They're like, I'm just not getting better. It's because they're not learning new things, right? And then you have people who talk about inconsistency, which is my problem, is that they don't correct mistakes. You know, they don't correct the back end of their bell curve, their C game. They don't correct mistakes, but they just keep on learning new things. So they have this bell curve, right? The bell curve starts like this. They learn something new. So now the front end of the bell curve moves forward, but the back end stays here. So they learn something new again. Now the front end goes forward again, but the back end stays here. And they're never tightening up their C game, right? So then at a certain point, you end up having this crazy ass bell curve that's super wide. So on a good day, you could play really good. And on a bad day, you play really bad. It's because you never took the time to correct the mistakes you're currently making and get them ingrained so that you never make them. If that makes sense. So that's what I want to talk about, is that if you're struggling with a plateau, it's because you're not learning anything new. It's because you just keep on doing the same thing over and over. Like this, you're never learning anything new. You just keep on correcting mistakes. And if you're struggling with inconsistency, it's probably because you're learning too many new things and you're not correcting current mistakes that you're already making. And that's what I was doing wrong with the team and myself, is I would watch demos. I'd watch demos. Oh, that's a new setup. Oh, that's a new strat. Oh, that's a new set play. Like that looks sick. Oh, that's a new execute. Let's add it to the team. Let's add this to the team. Let's add this to the team. I kept on adding these new things. So we're learning new things, but we're never correcting the current mistakes we're already making. So on a good day, we play really good. On a bad day, we play really bad. You know? Looks like how a caterpillar moves. If it's not moving, it's C game. It's actually moving. It isn't actually moving forward. Yeah. So if you don't ever improve your mistakes, you're really not moving forward. You're increasing your potential to play really good, but you're never increasing your consistency, because you still have the games that you play really, really bad. And that's what it's called. It's called inchworm. So the idea is that you want to increase your bell curve like an inchworm. You move the front end forward, so now this moves forward, and then you move the back end forward, so now this moves forward here, and then the bell curve just slightly moves along the graph of elo. So now you end up playing like 100. At your worst, you play 150 elo. At your best, you play 600. Then it moves forward again. Now at your worst, you play 500 elo. At your best, you play 800. And everyone can attest to this. Like pro players, their bell curves are like all the way up here. On their very worst days, they could literally be brain dead, like missing an arm, and they'll never play worse than like a face at level 10. And it's because they improve their mistakes so much that they don't have to think about it anymore. You see what I'm saying? Like that. This is like how pro players end up becoming pro, because they're so inconsistent. They increase they improve their mistakes. And that was the problem. Like I was saying, is that I just wasn't focused on our mistakes. We would make mistakes. What I was doing wrong is that we would make mistakes in a scrim. And I'm like, oh, it's because we don't know enough. Let's add another setup. And it's like, no, that's not the problem. The problem was we got to fix what was wrong here with this, the default. Like, we're pushing outside a nuke, and the CT killed us. And I'm like, oh, we need an outside take to stop that the CT from pushing. It's like, no, we need to just find ways to prevent that from happening with this current default. Fix the mistakes instead of adding. Consistency is king. Liver King was wrong. Wait, what does Liver King say? So yeah, hopefully that makes sense. But this is something I realized I was like messing up with. If you learn too many things and you don't fix mistakes, you become super inconsistent. You could play really good on a good day. You play really bad on a bad day. If you don't learn any new things, you become super consistent, but you just plateau and you play the same forever. Your C game becomes really good. Your A game never improves. And that's why you see these people who like get into Counter-Strike, but they don't like learn new things. They'll get to a certain level. This interim will be moving along. They learn something new. Then they correct a mistake. They learn something new. They correct a mistake. But they stop learning something new. And so the front end of the interim it's stuck right here. And so the back end, they keep on playing same way they've been playing before. Oh, they fixed another mistake. So now that back end comes here. Oh, they fixed another mistake. Back end comes here now. Oh, they fixed another mistake. But they're never learning anything new. So they just keep on fixing the mistakes of their current level of play. And they become super consistent, but they never improve. Versus people who learn new things, their back end is here. This is the inchworm. Oh, I learned something new. So now it's wider. Oh, I learned something new. Oh, I learned something new. Oh, I learned something new. So you have like a higher potential. Some days you play really good when you can think of all the new things that you learned, but they're never ingrained. So your back end just stays there. Keep on learning something new. And eventually you get to this point where like you're just super crazy inconsistent. And it talks about this point in the book is that people who learn too many new things, they end up just questioning, like they become so inconsistent that they don't know what's going wrong. And so they just question everything and just start throwing away like, they just question everything like, what the fuck's wrong with this? Like, and they usually end up quitting the sport. And that's what I think I was getting to that point where I was like, dude, I don't understand this game. Like I'm learning so many new things. We just keep on losing these teams that just don't even practice. And the problem is just we were never fixing mistakes. And then I was seriously like questioning everything in this game. I was like, am I like a bad IGL? Like, what am I doing wrong? Like I'm learning so many new strats and nothing's working. It's like, that was the problem. That was what was wrong, is I was learning too many things and we weren't fixing what we already had down. And this doesn't have to just apply to teams to be for individual skill, but this happened to me as an individual, and then it also ended up happening to our team because I was the IGL in charge of, bringing things to the table. How do you get over being scared of pug with Andrew? You don't. You never get over that fear. Man's intimidating. You can only get over that fear when you drop 30 with the sawed off. Hello, I have emotions when I play Face It. What can I do? Embrace them. Embrace your emotions. Embrace your emotions when you play. Because when you bottle them up, they even talk about emotions in the book, man. When you bottle up your emotions, they accumulate. Your emotions don't leave until you feel them. And so if you are playing your game, you keep on shutting off, you feel tilted and you like keep on trying to push that tilt down, it's just going to keep on growing throughout the rest of the game until at one point you just burst. But if you feel the emotions as you play, it's like having a balloon and you're like slowly leaking out the air so that the tilt never gets to a point where it bursts. It just slowly leaks out. So if you feel your emotions as you play, you feel your tilt, you feel your anger, feel your confidence, it will slowly leak out. That's how you keep it in balance. But if you don't feel it, that balloon will just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger until it bursts, and then you end up smashing your keyboard and shit like that. So that's what they talk about in the book, is people think when you're performing at a task or a skill, a sport, whatever it is, that you're supposed to be in some like zen-like state where you're just no emotions. I'm super focused, and that's not true. People, you're supposed to feel emotions when you play. Do you expect the map pool to rotate after the major? Hopefully, man. Fuck Mirage, get that shit out of there. What's good, TTV Monarch? How can fix my individual mistakes? Watch your own demos back. So yeah, that's what I ended up doing. That's how I shifted this. I used to just watch new demo after new demo after new demo, learning new strat, new strat, new strat, new setup, all this stuff. And now when I watch demos, I watch my own demos to see what I'm currently making mistakes on. And that's how you improve your C game. That's how you improve the back end of your bell curve. That's what I've been working on for the past week or two. It's just, let's just fix mistakes here. Let's stop learning new things. Let's fix mistakes. So now, you know, my front end of the bell curve is like all the way out here, but the back end's all right here. So if we fix mistakes, it's going to start looking like this. Oh, we fixed another mistake. So now we're never going to play below this elo. Oh, we fixed another mistake. Now we're never going to play below an IM team. Oh, we fixed another mistake. Okay, now we're playing consistently like a main team. Oh, we fixed another one. We're playing like a really good main team. Oh, we fixed another one. We're consistently playing like an advanced team. Oh, fix another. Fix another. All right, now we're playing like an ECL team. And that's all it is. We have the potential. I seriously, bro, you guys don't understand. The amount of shit that I know. Let me just flex the strat book real quick. The amount of shit I know about setups and strats and all that shit. Like the potential is there. Our A game is there. It's just we keep on like making mistakes. Look at this. Look how long this strat book is. 141 pages. Way too much stuff. Way too much stuff. Yeah, fix 7 mistakes, make ECO. 2 is all they get? Wait, what do you mean 2 is all they get? But yeah, that hopefully that makes sense. But that's something I want to talk about was A game, B game, C game, inchworm, and improving your bell curve and how that works. Because 2-1s against us, it's over. We're polished now. Yeah. No, yeah, dude, I seriously like after that game, that really just showed me. I'm like, wow, our C game is really fucking bad. Like we just need a scrim and just nothing new, just no new stuff. And that's why like sometimes Nico would talk about like a new smoke, and I'm just like, man, I feel like we don't need that right now. Like we just need to just play and fix mistakes. We don't need anything new. No new strats, maybe pistols, but you know, like that's why yeah, no hate to you, Nico, but I'm just like, oh, like when you start talking about new smoke, I'm like, fuck, I don't want to like, I feel like I've already overloaded everyone's mind so much with like nades and strats and setups that I'm like, man, if we add more, then like, I feel like it's just gonna like, I think we just need to focus on mistakes. Like, I don't want to like overload people's mental. Yeah, it is 14 games. Trying to get a new team going this season. We seem to be very focused on the strat, but we are struggling to just play the game. How do you balance strats, coordination, and just playing the game? Well, you might be focused on the strat because your strat, your level of skill at the strat, like I just talked about before, was you have unconscious incompetence, conscious incompetence, conscious competence, and unconscious competence. So this, you weren't aware you needed a strat, okay? And then boom, you're like, oh shit, we need strats. Okay, now we got a strat down. And then now that you have the strat down, you're only good at the strat when you think about it. You're only good at the strat when you think about it. So that's why everyone's too focused on the strat, because they haven't gotten the strat down to a level that they don't have to think about the strat anymore. You see what I'm saying? So keep on playing the game, and it's okay if they're focused on the strat. And at a certain point, they will no longer be focused on the strat. I keep on burping. They won't be focused on the strat because they have it so ingrained that they don't have to think about it anymore. If that makes sense. How do you deal with players that have massive egos? See, I wouldn't know how to tell you the answer to that question, because when I was doing tryouts, I made sure to like not get anyone with egos, because I just did not want to deal with that. He said about to walk in ACL. But yeah, with egos, I mean, shut up, Andrew. So you picked me up. I don't know, man. Egos are based. Depends. Like if because everyone has an ego, right? Everyone has an ego, but if uh if their ego is like getting in the way of them admitting fault and failure, like if it's not like it's not even functional, then I guess you just can't even play with people like that. But there is a trick to balancing people with egos, and I don't think I really know it. I don't know. I don't really deal with a lot of people with egos around me. Cause like there's one thing, if you run into someone with ego, like if I run into someone at the gym with an ego, like I've run into plenty of people at the gym with ego. But that doesn't bother me because I'm not on a team with them. You don't have to like know how to manage their ego so that it doesn't affect the team. I know how to handle people with egos in real life, you know. But when it comes to a team, I mean, there's a reason why people have egos. If the guy is open to talk to you, I mean, you can find out why he has an ego. Usually it's out of insecurity. Egos, people form big egos to compensate for insecurities. And that's something, if you like want to fix his ego, that's something that he would have to do on his own because you can't fix someone else's insecurities. But there should be ways to manage it. And I don't know. I don't know how to manage other people's egos. I think maybe just it's like give and take a bit. Maybe you just have to balance like the give and take. You want certain things done and you understand they have an ego, so you kind of have to let them play into it a little bit, but you also have to get what you want. It's I don't know. I don't know. I seriously don't know. How do you build chemistry in a new team just plugging together, or is there something you've done to build chemistry fast? What kind of chemistry? Like personality chemistry or in-game chemistry? Yeah, I wouldn't know how to handle those people egos though. That's got me thinking. I wanna go to the moon. Don't leave so soon. Dude, that song is so good, Rob. That song is so good. All right, hold on, I gotta delete this video real quick. Yeah, y'all can see the vault. I just realized, where is it? Where's this video at? This video right here. I gotta delete that. That video, I just realized, like, that your question you just told me about, like, how people overthink the strat. It's because they didn't get down to a conscious or unconscious competent level. And I made that whole video talking about that issue. I just realized that whole video was wrong because of your question. So I'm not gonna post it. All right, let me see this. Let me see the chat. How do you? Oh yeah. So, what is this bar? Oh, I was just explaining something. You missed out. Being able to play off each other in game. So yeah, that if you want to build chemistry, you'd have to like watch demos together, or I mean, literally just playing together is gonna build chemistry. But not if you just play together, that's not gonna build chemistry. You have to play together, and then let mistakes happen, and then explain what you wanted to do. Like the whole point of building chemistry is like you are on the same page with the other person, and that doesn't happen unless you speak your mind and be like, "Yo, I wanted to do this. When I said this, I meant to actually do this, not that." Or, "Yo, when we do this, we should be peaking this, not that." Like you just need to play together, make mistakes, and then talk about the mistakes together because you can learn those mistakes on your own and have your own solutions, and they might learn those mistakes on their own and have their own solutions. But if you're not learning together, then you're not building chemistry. Chemistry is information and mistakes corrected together because you're on the same page. That's why you have teams with different styles because they found their own answers to this problem and they found their own answers to this problem. So the only way to build chemistry is by playing together and learning together, correcting it together. Yeah, that song is so good, dude. Right. That was gonna be here. Oh, this song's really good too. The GOAT version. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. I feel like I had some other thing I want to talk about. One second. One second. One second. So Harry Mack. I'm not gonna lie, I still haven't listened to him yet. Okay, I guess not. I think I kind of talked about everything I did want to talk about. Yo, but I'm having like really good videos though because of that mental game of poker. I've been taking like a lot of notes. It's just I've got you guys all caught up to like where I'm at in the book pretty much. Inchworm, emotions, 4 levels of thinking. There's other things too, but I just didn't feel like talking about it. They usually the other things you talk about built up to this. I kind of just skipped that to try and get to this because I thought this was like pretty beneficial because of my situation and how it affected me learning too many things. So, but I'm gonna have some pretty good videos about that, and I'm gonna talk about it on stream too. All the stuff I get from that book. One thing I did want to do, uh, Simple Radar. These guys hit me up. They wanted me to do an honest review on stream. They wanted me to do an honest review of Simple Radar on stream. And so I told them I wasn't gonna look at it. I wasn't gonna download it until I got on stream, and I gotta turn it into a TikTok and stuff too. But yeah, they want me to review this. So yeah, I guess this is Simple Radar, and I believe that has what's it called? Yeah, it's got the callouts for the map. Oh shit, you can add like a lot of stuff here. You can add elevations. Really appreciate you doing these streams all the time. I feel like not many people talk about the game at this level. It's super helpful for me as a fairly happy to help, man. That's my whole goal is I'm carving out the trail to going pro, man. And I'm leaving it for y'all to walk behind me. Carving out the trail. Yo, it's kind of crazy though. I was gonna say I would think at like the level of skill that I'm at is that this is just overkill with all the callouts. It's probably beneficial if you don't know any of the callouts, but just like it looks nicer. It does look nicer. And I think they said something about how the old radar is yeah, it's not as accurate as you can see right there. It's not truly accurate. I'm gonna download this in the game and see what it looks like. I'm gonna keep it simple though, cause I don't want all those callouts. How do I get the one that I want? I'll probably just get elevations and Bizone. No, I'll just get Bizone. Yeah, I think the call is the only thing useful for the beginners. But it does look cleaner though, the map. Alright, how do I get this? Put my email in. Dang it. You already saw it anyways, who gives a fuck? Yeah, I gotta make the bread. I do gotta make the bread. You know some video about him that he shows some exercise of co-ex or English because I don't know which can help me with my issues. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, Sophie? Enter password. The fuck? Dude, what are you talking about? I don't have no password. Oh, it's right there. Good. Download use code. Anti versus for what? Do you like Nirvana? No, not really. I don't really listen to that type of music. All right. I'm gonna just get it with Bizones. I like it nice and bright. You gonna pop up on it now? Do you like the way it sounds? I cannot take another house. Running for the crowd. I can't hear my thoughts so loud. Make sure CSGO is closed. Okay. Go to C. Okay, I guess I gotta go here. What? My directory? What does that mean? The program files 86. All right, we'll just go the hard way then. Steam apps, Common, Counter-Strike, CSGO, resource. You copy the entire overviews folder. Save in your desktop. Paste. Steam Light has that game. It caught my eye. I have that? Oh, I do. Yeah, what about Cockhead though? Dude, I have a bunch of dumb games that my friends would just spend like 99 cents and send me. Shower with your dad. Save Jesus. Montaro. Kill the hentai. Kill the emoji. Jerking off in Class Simulator. I didn't even know I had this game. What the fuck? Cockhead. I got a lot of good games, man. Tiny versus large crosshair. I feel like large is more intuitive for me, but I use a larger crosshair. Hey man, can you please show me the structure of your strat book, like the topics, not the strats? Yeah, I got you, bro. We'll go to Mirage. I'm actually gonna make a video about this. This is how it's kind of set up. You can add, I have it like CT side, philosophies, pistol, mass ups, A side setup, B side setup, set plays, A side set plays. Damn, what is on my lit, bro? B side set plays, op picks, gimmicks. Then you can have like mid setups. Same for T side, mid defaults, A side defaults, overall map defaults, pistol, all that stuff. That's what it looks like. You can see all the stuff we have on the side. Quick flex, quick flex. Oh. All right, let's go. ESA is not officially allowed simple radar. That being said, a staff member said it is fine. Well, yes, changing your radar is no different than changing your HUD. It's not third-party apps for the cosmetic change. So it's fine for ESA or not. The staff member said, oh, it's fine. Why you ask changing your... Okay. I guess it's fine for ESCA. Not sure. One of the staff members said it was cool, so... Save my desktop, go back to before open O1 default. Then open overviews, paste. Oh my gosh. All right, let's see what this looks like in game. Game 2, are we sitting for a year? What, would I get banned for this? A year banned for a radar? All right, let's see what this radar looks like, man. Refrag still open. I can see the future is looking like we level through. Look at this. Talk about learning too much. Talk about learning too much. Look how many fucking nades I've saved, dude. I don't even know all of them. That's what I'm talking about. That was a big problem of mine, is just learning A game, learning A game, A game, A game. New things, and not correcting old things. Yeah, philosophy is usually like kind of like how you approach the map or certain parts of the map. You can put like whatever you want in there. Protocols too. I don't really look at philosophies that much. It's kind of like, kind of go over it once, and then everyone kind of knows. But I put it in there. I put it in there just because. I don't know why. If you were ragging, what? What does that mean? I can't wait to live in glory, eternal lasting life. Won't you take the wheel? I'll recline and I'll sit still. Might as well turn up now. He gonna pop up unannounced with a trumpet to you like the way it sounds. I cannot take another ounce. Going for the crowd. I am my thoughts so loud. Yeah, they die so loud. Do you like the way it sounds? I was on the floor for a while. Oh shit! It changed the map right here too. What's your question? Sophie? There's some videos about him that shows. Yeah, who are you talking about? I don't know who you're talking about, Sophie. Yo, alright, this radar is so zoomed out, bro. Hold on, how do you change that? Oh shit. Let me see what their recommended settings were. Optimal radar settings. Always centered. Oh, West Proter? Yeah, West Proter. WESTPROTER. Alright, let's put these settings in here. Huh? That's kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie, that does look pretty clean, the radar. I think I'm too used to the old radar though to make the switch. But yeah, that does look pretty clean. I actually might just keep this. I'm not gonna lie. Might want to zoom out a bit though. Something like this. At least for nuke, because the map's so big. I think 5 is perfect. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, man. This is kind of cool. I'm gonna leave this the radar thing. If you guys are interested in it, you can check it out. Simple Radar. It's free to download. They wanted me to review it on stream. I'm gonna leave my radar like this, but as you saw in the beginning, where's it at? You can change it to however you want. You can change it, buy zones, callouts, elevations, all that other stuff. I believe it's more accurate too, like they said right here. So I might just keep it for that reason alone. Yeah, I'm actually gonna keep this. I honestly thought I was gonna download this and then just uninstall it right after, but it's kind of clean. It kind of looks clean up there. We'll see what happens with ESCA. I mean, they said that it's supposed to be allowed on ESCA, so that should be all right. But we'll see. Let me see. If you were bringing a new player, would you try to fill the same role as the previous player, or would you try to change the strat book to suit the new player? Depends on what level of skill you're at. Because if you're at like open or IM, like people have styles, but like everyone sucks, so everyone can learn a role. you know, if someone's played a role really long, then yeah, I'd probably adjust for them. But at a lower level, there really is no like, I don't know. I feel like people overthink that things. Just like put everyone in spots that kind of suits them, and then learn that way together. Never did any laps until Samurai posted that video, and I've done a routine for a week or two. My aim has never felt so. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. It's right out of the Andy Cheese like fake it. Yeah, they don't see it as a hack. It shows it right here. Where is it at? Yeah, it was face to approve, vac safe. But yeah, I mean, yeah, you could. I would adjust for the player. In general, you should adjust for the player. You shouldn't just try and pigeonhole them in like the same role that they're filling because not everyone's the same. So usually when you pick up a new teammate, you have to make those adjustments, rediscuss every map, T side, CT side, see what people want to change, what they don't want to change, try and get them in their, where they're comfortable. And I would redo the strat book because that's what we did when we picked up Nico. I was like, forget everything we learned so far, and we're gonna just go through the whole strat book again. And so I highlighted the whole strat book, and then I only unhighlighted things that I wanted to keep, and I got rid of things I didn't want to keep because it just didn't work anymore, or we just didn't go over it. And so I would just change the names of what happened in the strat book. Sometimes I'd change the whole strat too. But if you get a new player in general, yeah, you're supposed to you give him some wiggle room, give him some freedom and stuff, what he wants out of like how he wants to play on the team, because he's a different player. Not everyone's the same. Why am I saving this? Sleep because here in Brazil it's 2 a.m. Yeah, I'm about to get off too. I'm not gonna lie. It's already 11:44. All right, I'm out of here, y'all. Quick little stream. I might stream tomorrow. I might not. Sunday I might stream as well. Do some more tips and tricks. But yeah, I think these tips and tricks are gonna start leaning more towards questions, and then also VOD reviews. Because, like I said, I'm not learning new things anymore. I'm not improving my A game anymore. I'm not learning new nades, new smokes. I'm correcting mistakes. So I'm not gonna have a lot of things to talk about in terms of like new util. But I guess in a sense that's also more content because I could teach y'all protocols of stuff that I'm learning about slash smokes, whatever it is, whatever defaults on certain maps, setups. I could talk about the mistakes that I've corrected and not necessarily new things that I've learned. So we'll see. See what you're saying though? App open, it's all about learning the basics. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah.